You will never have to hear me say MSNBC. Well, maybe just for this show. I mean, now I'm going to have to say, what is it? MS Now? Oh boy, that's just bad, okay? So now that we've got MS Now, the big question becomes, who's going to stay? Who's going to go? I mean, I imagine some of the talent's going to be out. And it's again, it comes back to the economics of this model. Okay, the model just doesn't work. So unless someone's got something, up their sleeve that I just haven't thought about, I go back to what cable company is going to continue to pay these insane rates. Sure, the thing will print money for a while. You can eke out a living, so to speak, but you can't be paying $25 million to one Rachel Maddow. You just can't. If that's in fact what she's getting, which is just an enormous amount for somebody who's only doing one show a week, I get it. She's the face of your network, but you cannot pay that kind of money and expect to survive. So does that mean you put more Jen Psaki's in there, like no-name people, or who's that woman that I always forget her name at 4 o'clock? She kind of looks like a wallflower. You know who I mean. Anyway, see the point? Like, in other words, if you don't have talent that is, has the wow factor or any pizzazz at all, and I'm not saying that Rachel's got a ton of pizzazz, but she's got a heck of a lot more than Jen Psaki or the woman whose name I can't remember, right? I mean, that's, in fact, where you're heading, to a model where you print money, okay, you make a little bit of money, but there's no growth opportunity. And so what happens is you have to whittle down costs, and that means you cannot afford the bigger paychecks. You're gonna have to get rid of your big stars if we consider them that. And it's happening over at The View too. And listen, they know it. They know it. You better believe they know it. Rachel Maddow knows it, Joy Behar knows it, the other one, Whoopi Goldberg, knows it. And they know that they basically are running a massive risk because they are more expensive and because they're in this changing medium. But what are they going to do? They're going to blame Trump. They blame Trump. They were doing this right ahead of the election. Oh, because they're not going to get any of that, I don't know, sponsorship money through the back door, however that was coming in. I mean, PBS has ended, right, in terms of its money that it was getting from taxpayer dollars, and NPR, same sort of thing. You kind of wonder what MSNBC had working through its books along the way. Anyway, it's all cut off. And they knew this was going to happen, but yet they blame Trump, right? Not the changing industry and the reality. Oh, I guess you could blame Trump for that, right? Because you're not having any of that extra moolah coming from taxpayers. Anyway, here's Joy and Rachel all worried just before the election.
So you said recently that you thought that you, as an outspoken critic, could be a target yourself. Some people think that sounds overdramatic, but I'm right there with you. I think that he is so vindictive that he will go after, however he has to, through the IRS maybe, or even, through sponsors to get us off the air maybe, or you. Yeah. How seriously should we be taking that?
Well, so I was asked, am I worried about me? And my answer was, I'm worried about all of us. I'm no more worried about me than I am worried about everybody in the country. Yeah. I think it's bad to have somebody saying, give me as much power as you can in this country so I can use it to go after other Americans. So I can use it to go after these subhuman internal enemies, and I'll destroy them. Like, that's just not a good system for anybody. And I don't think anybody's safe if that's the sort of basis on which he wants to get more power.
Well, remember when Nixon had an enemies list? That was a proud moment for a lot of people if they were on the enemies list. Maybe we need to turn it around like that.
Well, I think that if he decides that he's going to go after you or me or anybody who's well known, we have resources, we'll likely be fine. But I think there's a pattern where he picks out individual people and effectively terrorizes them. But I mean, there's Stormy Daniels wearing a bulletproof vest.
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Right? This is them just trying to grease the wheels because they knew it was coming. Versant, however you want to say it. I'm trying to give them a French flair because, they're not very patriotic or American, are they? Even though now it's red, white, and blue. I mean, guys, what are you trying to do? Trying to compete with Fox? For goodness sakes, we went from rainbow flags to red, white, and blue over at MSNBC because it's the end of the network as you know it. Unbelievable stuff. And we knew it was coming. I told you it was coming. And granted, I see some of you in the comments, peace of my mind, thank you for pointing out how many likes we're getting. Yes, keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting. I would just say this. Look, yes, the network will continue on in some form of itself. But a lot of the key people there, whether it be Chuck Todd, whether it be Joy Reid, a lot of the key people have left and might still be leaving. In other words, how much money can you pay Rachel Maddow to get her to stick around to do a show once a week? I mean, you've already kind of priced yourself out of the market with her, for goodness sakes, at $25 million, if in fact that's true, because as the president's even said, that's a heck of a lot of money for one show a week. Is that really what you're doing in light of, gosh, those darn ratings, which are quite awful as well? So her ratings are sinking. I'd say, hey, you know what? Put Jen Psaki in there. She's not going to cost you that much, and the ratings can keep tanking. Maybe she can kind of learn on the job and, you know, develop a little personality somewhere, somehow. At least she's not costing you a pretty penny, because I'm telling you, shareholders are not going to like this. Jen Psaki, however, continues to flop in the ratings. I mean, she's just doing miserably, terribly bad. This is from Free Beacon that was talking about this quite recently, losing 44% of the audience that basically Rachel had. But even then, even when Rachel comes on Monday, they're still way, way down. And she's had a lot of backlash, as this particular article points out, a lot of backlash, because it seems that she was instrumental in having covered up for one Joe Biden. So, the audience doesn't trust her. The ratings aren't there. And the entire medium of news is changing in real time. We're part of it, right? We're almost at 1 million viewers. Think about that. 1 million subscribers, I should say, right here on the Trish Regan channel. 1 million subs. I mean, it's actually truly, truly incredible. So thank you for all you guys do for that part. But I would just say that this is part of this transition. And so MSNBC is like, oh, I don't know, the Iceman when the refrigerator came. How are they going to survive? They probably can't. They probably won't. And that's okay. You know what? We call it transition. You know, there's just a lot of industries, right, that have gone through this, and more industries to come. If you want to learn more about all the changes that are happening throughout so many industries, including, I would say, the power of AI. I know it's scary and all that, but it's also incredibly powerful. Go check out my company, 76 Research, 76research.com. Some of our model portfolios are really just performing so, so well. And I'm so proud of this company that my friend Rob and I started. We're coming up on, I guess, well, maybe just over a year. Yeah, just over a year. And you look at, like, for example, our tech portfolio, which has just killed it, of course, because tech is taking on more risk, as I always point out, versus something like an income builder portfolio. But if you have time on your side, it's a good thing to do.